Hello everyone. Just got finished in the last week with a series of videos, top 10 best and top 10 worst states for gun owners. And although they were well received, the last one, top 10 best states, got a lot of slack from people that were like, hey, why isn't my state on the list? We have constitutional carry. We have constitutional carry. Well, that's great if you have constitutional carry because there shouldn't be any infringement on your ability to own, operate, and carry a weapon. But the real question is, how are your laws? How are your laws for the use of a weapon? How are the laws when it comes to what type of weapon you can own, what type of ammunition you can have, where you can shoot your weapon? If you're carrying your gun, can you use it? Or if you use that gun, is a district attorney going to crucify you because he can? What do the Castle Doctrine laws look like in your state? What do the Stand Your Ground laws look like in your state? Or do you even have them at all? It takes a lot more than just being able to carry a gun. You can carry the gun all over the place, and that's just great. But if you can't use it when you need it, and if you need it, there's practically no point to having the gun at all, which is why many of those laws are the way that they are. And you need to consider that. Folks, those of you who got offended by that list, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. If you live in a state that is not going to recognize your ability to defend yourself when you need to, what are you even carrying for? What are you carrying for? So that you can spend the next 2.5 years in court mortgaging the house, spending every penny that you have, while a district attorney whose job it is to get a conviction out of you, whether you're innocent or not, because they don't even care. District attorney doesn't care about you. They care about their political career and how it looks and if they win or not. They don't care if you're guilty. They don't even want to know. But that's what happens very often when you have to use your firearm. They take your gun away. They arrest you for your protection. You spend time in jail. You end up spending a fortune in court to prove your innocence, while a district attorney says the fact that you carried a gun at all makes your shooting of another individual premeditated. If you live in a state like that, it doesn't matter if you have constitutional carry. It doesn't matter if you can open carry because they're going to burn you. I'm not saying you shouldn't carry or shouldn't own your gun, but that is part of the criteria for that top 10 list and why a lot of states that have constitutional carry was left off. Does your state have amnesty? Kansas recently did this, which is why Kansas is so high on that list now, because they provide amnesty for an individual who has to shoot someone during a crime. Someone's robbing you, carjacking you, breaking into your home, and you have to shoot them. Amnesty. You're not going to court. Or, like I said, is the district attorney in your community, in your state, going to make a career out of you? That's something to think about. Just because you have constitutional carry is not enough. And if the laws in your state are garbage, you need to push back. You need to fight for your rights to defend yourself before we end up like it is in the UK. And I'll tell you, I remember being in gun classes in Illinois. I've lived in several different states. One of the states I lived in was Illinois, and you have to have a FOID card to even own a gun at all. Or if they find out you have one, you're going to jail. So you have to take a class to get your FOID card because Illinois wants your money, and it's taught by police officers. And that question comes up. What about Stand Your Ground? What about Castle Doctrine? There isn't any at all. Don't even try. Don't use your gun. This is what they're telling us. Don't use your weapon. you'll end up in court for years. If you come home and someone's breaking into your house, you're better off helping them carry your furniture out than trying to stop them. You just can't. I'm sorry. And he isn't doing that just to be discouraging. He's doing it because he's seen it, and that's how the law is. That's how bad it is in Illinois. You can't defend yourself. Your dog counts too. Dog is technically property as far as Illinois is concerned, and you can't defend property with force. And evidently can't defend your life either. And you have all these people carrying guns, and it's like, God, you know, I can just imagine what they're going to have to go through if they ever have to use their weapon. That's an important thing to think about. Like I said, I'm not breaking your balls because you're in a constitutional carry state. Carry your gun. You should. You deserve the right to. It is your right. It is your right, and it is infringed. Every gun law, no matter how good they are, is an infringement on the Second Amendment. You know that. But if your laws are weak like that, if they're heavy-handed against people who defend their lives, their property, their loved ones, even strangers, that's something that you need to push back against in your own state. And that's a whole other topic of discussion. So there you go. That's a big part of the criteria for that top 10 list. And that's why a lot of states that people think deserved to be on that top 10 list just aren't there. Because your laws suck. It's as simple as that. Nothing on you personally, but the laws just are not that great in a lot of those states. So, if you got something out of the video, please do give it a thumbs up, share it if you can, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Check out some of the other videos. If you're new to the channel, you may see something that you like. And remember, you can also find me on Coffee Talk, which is another channel on YouTube. Hanging in there as best I can, because ScrewTube, rather, does not like channels like this. They don't like people having an opinion that is different from their own. And they sanction a lot of the videos. They give me a really hard time. The fact that constitutional carry was even said in this video is probably going to get it into trouble. Most of my videos get into trouble. They get the yellow banner. Unsuitable. Unsuitable for audiences. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.